Good morning. This is Daily Hebrew Declarations with Daniel Jedediah Cook, and I'm reading the declaration for today, January the 7th, 2021. The three Hebrew letters we're honoring today are Mem, Zion, and Shin. Along with those three living letters, we're also honoring the spirit of understanding, the spirit of wisdom, and the spirit of might. The declaration today reads this: the voice of many waters flowing in Yahweh, the supply of heaven, the crown of authority, the day of rest and peace, the place of action where Yeshua brings forth many sons. You know, this morning, as I was looking over Michelle's declaration, now many of you may know this, many of you may not, but Michelle writes these every night. And so at the beginning of a Hebrew day, if you will. So by the time I come in the morning, I wake up and we get a chance to sit down and we go over the declaration, and then we begin to talk about it. This morning, it was a little bit busy because a pastor friend of mine, Pastor Sugi from Malaysia, we've gotten really close and connected with her, and we're doing a lot more now in the Asia Pacific region than we've ever done before because of this awesome connection that we have with her. Now, she is a son of Dr. O. This morning, she was hosting a meeting from her group with Dr. O this morning. And this morning, he was talking about particularly the waters and the voice of the Lord and the seven voices of the Lord. Now, I don't want to get into his teaching here, but there is one part of this that I just want to honor Michelle in, because she wrote this last night, and this morning during Dr. O's meeting, here he was talking about the place of the voice and the voice of many waters, and the place where the sound of Yahweh's voice is the waters. In other words, his frequency, his sound is on the waters. Now, we've been saying that for quite some time now, but from a completely different perspective and from a completely different way. But I love it when Yahweh begins to pull things together and begins to show us something that we know that we're hearing. And it establishes it in a greater and deeper way. Remember, we've been saying this, that each one of us have a puzzle piece. Each one of us have a place of what Yahweh is calling us and what he is telling us. And there is a treasure that Yahweh has given each one of us. So if you take a look at the multiplicity of the drops in the ocean, then you can see where each drop will then contribute to the whole. So the sum is greater than the parts themselves. Because in that place of connection, this is what I've been saying for this whole time, in that place of connection, then we share of the treasure that's inside of each and every one of us. And so as a result, now we can see the place of exceedingly abundantly above all that we could ask or think. Now we can see the place of Yahweh in us and us in him. And I love the perspective of what he was talking about today. Now, this is the place of the supply of heaven. You know, when we really stop to think about it, how much trust and honor and the place of Yahweh's heart and intent of his heart as us being sons, how much more when we realize that the supply of heaven has been given to us. All of creation shows the supply of heaven. Everything inside of creation has a voice. Dr. O said that this morning. Everything in creation has a voice, and it's in that voice that the glory of the Lord is able to be seen. Can we hear that voice? Can we stop long enough to listen to that still small voice, the sound of the grass growing on the fields, the sound of the trees rustling in the wind, the sound of the babbling brook as it goes over the little stones? See, that's the place of hearing the voice of Yahweh in everything. You see, this is the place of the crown of authority that Yahweh has given us. As sons, you know, I've been saying this as well, but again, it was just another level when we see this and we hear this from other people as well. But the crown of authority that Yahweh has given each one of us. We are sons. We are meant to be sons. Do we receive that crown? Do we, then operate from that place of that crown of authority? Because in that place of authority, we have the place of rest and peace. Rest is can be sometimes kind of a difficult word, especially when we try to define what do we mean by rest and peace. But I know for one thing that I know that the Spirit of Yahweh inside of me has given me a place of peace. I know when that peace is being violated. I know when there is something that's trying to pull away from the peace of Yahweh inside of me. And there's a part of me that in that place of rest and peace stands up and says, oh no, peace, I cannot let you go. I must have you, peace. I must have the fullness of peace. And it's in him that I have the peace. It's in the sound of his voice. It's in the voice of many waters. It's in that place of the flowing of Yahweh. It's in that place of understanding that he has given me the supply of heaven, and that I can only share in the exceedingly abundantly as I begin to share with you. And as you begin to share with me, as we begin to come together and to operate in that place of who we are meant to be as sons. You see, it's the place of action where Yeshua brings forth many sons. Now, I don't usually try to preach someone else's message, but I can't help it. I just left this meeting with Dr. O and Pastor Sugi, and it's really just rattled me at my very, very core. Because again, I know that I've been seeing these things and I've been declaring them and speaking them, but now I'm hearing it from a different perspective that adds so much more to what I was hearing Yahweh say. Again, now the exceedingly abundantly is coming out yet again. But you see, one of the things that Dr. O said today was talking about the place of action. When we look at the things about the that's going on today, and then we begin to realize that there is a place of action that we need to take. Evil men may try to create something, but inside of that, this is what he said today, inside of that, there always is going to be death. Why not a son rise up to do the thing that we need to have done? With the whole COVID, with the vaccine and so on. As sons, we have always been meant to take action. Yahweh has given us the understanding, his wisdom, his might, his knowledge, the fear of the Lord, the place in knowing that we are his sons and that we are set to be the ones who are his peace in the earth. We are his word in the earth. We are his reflection of glory in the earth. When we talk about that, we talk about the fullness of Yahweh's glory and the beauty of Yahweh's glory and the awesomeness of Yahweh's glory. And he has given that glory to us. You see, there has been so much that Yahweh has shared with me lately that I am waiting to just be able to release. And I'm excited about some of the things that Yahweh is showing me with regards to encouragement. The other day I had a dream, and when I woke up, the dream had nothing to do with this, but the word that I heard just before I woke up was this: the promised Shunammite woman. And I thought that was kind of an odd, because I was looking at it from the perspective of Yahweh saying that the promised Shunammite, there was a Shunammite woman coming, and there was a promised Shunammite woman that was supposed to be there. Now, I'm not sure exactly what that meant, but of course I went back to the scripture and looked at it again. I remembered it being a part of Elisha, and how Elisha had gone to the Shunammite woman, and she had given him a place to stay, and so on. And Yahweh and Elisha spoke to her and gave her a son. And then a little bit later on, the son had an accident, or son had an issue, and he died in her arms. And she went to him and said, "But I asked you when you first began to speak over this, I asked you, I don't want to be to be in pain again as a result of this." And Elisha went and laid over the boy, prayed over him, and he was raised up from the dead. You see, I began to see that the word that Yahweh was speaking to me was saying just this: the promised, period, Shunammite woman. In other words, it's in this place Yahweh has given us a promise, and he is saying, it may seem to be dead, but it is not dead.